boys and girls. Miss McAdam and Miss Flint are back to have our mid-discussion meeting for our book, Lucky Beans. We brought back with us our interactive reader notebooks and our reading partnership planning sheets. So make sure you have all of those with you when you get to your meeting with your partner. Last time we met the book and had our first meeting and we talked about what we thought the book was going to be about. Miss McAdam paid very close attention to the picture on the front cover of the book, and Miss Flint also paid very close attention to the title when we were making our predictions. Today we're going to meet to discuss what's been going on in the book so far. Last time we met we talked about stopping at page 15 in our book, and so today we're going to talk about what has happened. One of the things we want to do is retell the story. Miss McAdam is going to start our meeting.
I was so excited. I wanted to retell the story as soon as I read it, but I had to wait till I met with Miss Flint. So far in our story, Lucky Beans, there's this main character, Marshall, and he lives at home with a big family. And at home, his mom and dad both lost their jobs, so they're really poor right now. So they eat beans all the time. And see, the thing is that his mom could make money sewing, but she doesn't have a sewing machine right now. So in the story, what happens is Marshall is crossing the street and he notices the sewing machine can be won if he can estimate, that's a guess, the amount of beans that are in the jar. And that's what's happened so far in the story.
That was a really good retell, Miss McAdam. One of the other things we want to do during our mid-discussion meeting is make some connections to the story. And so one of the connections I made when I was reading the story, I wanted to relate it back to myself, was it talked about how Marshall lived with this big family. His aunt and uncles and cousins were all in the house with them. And I remember when I go on vacations with my family, how hard it is to get enough food for me to eat. So just imagine every day trying to share the food with him, with all of those people. It probably was really hard. He was probably really hungry, and so every time he ate beans, he probably got a little bit frustrated because he wanted something more. So that was one of the connections I made in the story. Another thing we want to do when we come for our mid-discussion meeting is make a prediction about what's going to happen next in the story. So when we left off, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So one prediction that I was thinking is he hasn't made his guess yet, but I mean, I'm thinking he wants to win that sewing machine. So I predict that the next thing he'll do is make a guess about how many beans are actually in that jar.
And I was kind of thinking that he seems to really like to make his mom happy, and most of us do. So that's another connection that we could make, that he might not be sure if he's going to win or not and not want to get his mom's hopes up. So maybe he's going to make the prediction without telling his mom to see if he can get it. And if he wins, it'll be a nice surprise for her. But if he doesn't, then he can just not tell her. So when you come back for your mid-discussion meeting, you want to be sure to retell what happens in the story and make some really good connections and predictions about your story also. Next time we meet, Miss McAdam, we want to read to the end of the book and then talk about what happened from the last time we met till now. So I can't wait to finish the book.
Me too. I can't wait to see how many beans he guesses.
And if he wins the sewing machine for his mom. See you next time.